self-protection, North London martial arts and self-defense. In today's video, we're going to be looking at diagonal palm blocks at a 45-degree angle for martial arts and self-defense training purposes. So, if we take the concept again of the pole going through your head, through your neck, through your spine, through your upper body, through your middle body, through your lower body, down through the groin towards the floor. This here is the central axis of rotation the human body naturally moves on. So palm blocks are always activated off the central axis of rotation against different angles of attack. So if we break down the 45-degree angle palm block, the hand and palm come towards your opposite shoulder, and the wrist, the forearm and elbow are facing at a 45-degree angle towards the line of the attack. So all I'm doing from this position is I'm snapping across and deflecting with the palm of my hand like so. So the hand comes in towards the central axis of rotation and then goes outwards and past the central axis of rotation at a 45-degree angle as I deflect the attack coming towards my body. And exactly the same thing the opposite side, the opposite hand comes towards the opposite shoulder, the wrist, the forearm and elbow are facing at a 45-degree angle, and I snap and deflect the attack as it comes towards me. And again, the hand, it comes towards the central axis of rotation and then past and away from the central axis of rotation at a 45-degree angle. And again, with the palms at a 45-degree angle, you're deflecting with the palms towards those attacks as they come towards you. And again, with this action, you want to think about using evasive body movement with the palm blocks. So again, the pole structures here, you're moving from side to side, moving your head, moving your body away from the line of attack as you do the 45-degree angle palm block like so, yeah? So again, as opposed to just staying straight on one plane of motion here, with no evasive body movement, you use the palm block and move your head and body away from the angle of attack. Exactly the same thing on the opposite side. So all I'm doing from this position is I'm deflecting, deflecting, moving the body, deflecting, deflecting, moving the body, moving the body. And again, I'm using aggressive body action, so getting a full twist on each side from side to side. So palm blocks at a 45-degree angle are very useful for deflecting and defending against, for example, a straight punch off your lead, reverse punch off the opposite hand, hook punches off the lead and reverse. Also, in some ways, stick attacks going towards your head at a 45-degree angle, or bottle attacks going towards your head or body at a 45-degree angle. So when you're doing these palm blocks, think about moving the body away from the attack and coming off the central axis of rotation, coming back onto the central axis of rotation, and then coming back off the central axis of rotation and coming back onto the central axis of rotation. So if we look at the concept of two straight punches coming towards your face, for example, in our previous videos we looked at the inward palm blocks like so, which again inwards and inwards. The 45-degree angle palm block works in the same way, but you're just deflecting the punch as it comes towards you, deflecting the punch as it comes towards you. And again, you're moving your body, moving your head, so it's 1, 2, 1, 2, and so on. If we look at the concept of the hook punch coming towards your head, again, you're deflecting like so, again, moving your head, moving your body, but the palms are making impact with either the fist of the hooking punch, the wrist of the hooking punch, the forearm of the hooking punch, or better still against the upper part of the arm here. Yeah? So if you take the concept of a hook punch coming towards this side of the body, I'm deflecting like so, moving my head away from the angle of attack, and my palm will deflect against the target areas I just mentioned. Exactly the same thing. The opposite side, the hook punch comes in towards the side of my head or temple. I deflect, move my head and body and so on away from the line of the attack. Palm blocks at a 45-degree angle are very similar to what jiu-jitsu practitioners use and other styles. Different styles out there that use different ways of doing it, but in terms of the jiu-jitsu, for example, but it's very similar how these palm blocks work. In jiu-jitsu, they do snake and S blocks, which work in a way of coming like so, and make an attachment onto the shoulder, and they move the body and head off the line of attack. So what we're doing from this position is 1, 2, 1, 2, and these hands actually make an attachment to the shoulder. Palm blocks are similar, but it's more of a deflective action, like so. In terms of reality for self-defense training, if we take the concept of hooking punches coming towards your head or face in general, if you take the concept of a hook punch traveling at 100 miles per hour, it's very unlikely, or there's a 0% chance that you would be able to get your hands towards your shoulder and then react in time to deflect against that hooking punch, yeah? So that's why it's always important to move your body away from the angle of attack. And better still, it's also important to strike as well with an attack as you do the block. So if we take the concept of a palm block with a reverse punch, all I'm doing from this position is I'm driving a reverse punch towards the attacker's face or throat. But as I do so, I'm doing this deflective block here. So this is one action, so it's 1, and I'm deflecting and striking at the same time. And exactly the same thing on the opposite side. The reverse punch comes through here, and as I do this, this is one simultaneous action as you do so. So again, at least if a punch is coming towards you at 100 miles per hour and it does hit you, you're at least making impact with a strike towards the attacker as they hit you. If we go back to the concept of the S and hook blocks that jiu-jitsu practitioners use, their angles of rotation are actually very good because they move their body away from the line of attack and they move in as well and make an attachment to you and take down and whatever. So as you use these palm blocks, apply them to the situation in the correct format. So if we go to the concept of the hook punches coming towards you, I would defend in a way of deflecting with a palm block and driving a hook punch in towards the attacker's face as I circulate and do a U-turn in towards the attacker. So the hook punch comes in from this direction, I deflect and do a reverse punch towards the attacker's face. And exactly the same from the opposite side, the opposite hook punch comes in, I deflect and do a reverse punch towards the attacker's face. So all I'm doing from this position is I'm U-turning in towards the attacker and striking with a hook punch as I do so. If we look at the concept or an example of someone trying to attack you with a stick or a bottle, presuming it's unbroken, again it works in the same fashion. So the bottle will be coming, or stick will be coming at an angle here, and I'll deflect this way. But as I do so, I move away and circulate and strike in towards the attacker's face. And exactly the same thing, the opposite angle, with a bottle or sticks coming towards my head here, I deflect and I strike like so, yeah? So palm blocks at a 45-degree angle, they're commonly used in katas and traditional karate katas, kung fu katas, Korean movements, Korean katas and so on. But you can still use them efficiently if you know how to apply them and adapt them to the situation you're in. So using eclecticism to protect yourself and get away from the attack. So when you're practicing these palm blocks, start slowly, get the angle of attack right, the right body action, like so, yeah? And then practice the palm blocks with a reverse punch on one plane of motion, palm block and reverse punch on one plane of motion, and practice moving the head and body, moving the head and body. Then once you've mastered that, practice the U-shaped turns with the palm blocks and striking at the same time, U-shaped palm blocks and striking with the fist at the same time, yeah? So remember, body action, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, yeah? 1, 2, yeah? Palm blocks are very effective if you know how to use them, yeah? Okay, so that there is how to use palm blocks at a 45-degree angle in terms of different eclectic training methods through eclecticism and so on, yeah? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do all those kinds of things, and don't forget to check our website www.eclecticselfprotection.com for everything relating to martial arts and self-defense training in general. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.